Hello, San Antonio and Texas and nationwide, wherever you are listening from. Welcome to the Medicare Space live show here. My name is Victoria Cabrera, and who do we have here today?
Adriana Rodriguez.
Ooh, she is filling in for Silvio Toscano, our wonderful, wonderful host that is out in Mexico on the nice sands and beaches, the white sands of Mexico, blue waters, unlike where I live, Corpus, where it's brown and you just never know what you're going to get. You're going to get jellyfish, you're going to get seaweed, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. No offense to my Corpus listeners. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for joining in. I see you guys are bright and early. Thank you so much to our listeners. Let us know. Say hi in the comments that you're here with us today. And we have our wonderful Brooke back there, backstage, or back behind the scenes, not backstage. It's not like we're rock stars or something.
Or we kind of are, right?
And today, guys, we wanted to recap what we talked about last week. So let us know if you're listening and let us know how you're doing. Let us know how your week is going. Some of us started a little slow. Some of us are ending a little strong. I'm going to pick on Adriana today. Both. So let us know if you're joining in. As you know, my mic looks a little bigger because I do talk very loud. And this is supposed to help a little bit, pop, help it a little bit more where it's not where I'm like too loud.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? Do you think I'm loud?
No, I think I'm way louder than you.
So last week Adriana, we were talking about, and if you can see I just got some eggs. So if you see that, last week we were talking about, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about like gym stuff. We talked about, gym etiquette. We talked about beauty. We talked about bar soap. We talked about all kinds of crap.
A lot of stuff.
And so if there's anything that you guys want to hear from us in the future, let us know. We'd love to talk about it. I know last week we were asking you guys that were listening about, some of the things that our seniors can tell us that they can share with the younger individuals and things that, what wisdom they can provide.
Yeah.
Now we were going to bring you on the show on like the way the radio stations do it. But unfortunately, I switched to an iPhone. I had an Android my whole life. I switched to an iPhone recently. I'm not very fond of it. And not to mention, I didn't have the correct plug to plug you guys in. So we can't bring you on today, unfortunately. That's another reason I'm not into the iPhone. Now my plug doesn't work. It's
not that versatile.
No, it's not. It's not as smart as the Android. I'm just going to say it. I like Android. It's
You're
cool.
not the only person who enjoys the Android.
Yeah.
The iPhone.
I prefer it. It's what I was used to, but it's simple. The iPhone is easy. It's just, I don't really care for it. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I don't like about it already, but I'm not going to complain for my whole life. Because I don't want then, when you complain about something and then you drop it and then it shatters and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah. we don't want that to happen.
So how's your week going, Adriana? Tell us about how your week is going.
Good. A little slow. Good. We're going to end strong today. Starting a new thing this week, which I'm excited, but I'm excited, but I'm also like, oh, okay, this is new.
Yeah. So Adriana is normally like very like, yeah, let's go, come on, let's do this. And then she came in like, this week she's been a little like, I was like, hey, come on. Where's that girl that, that first started all chipper and excited? And
it was a little slow.
So I've been giving her I've been giving her a hard time, not because, it's been slow, but, because
I've been slow.
She's been a little less energetic than we're used to seeing around the office. So if you're feeling like that, if you're listening in and you're feeling a little slow this week, you're feeling like you're dragging, you're feeling like you're in a slump, let us know. Put it in the comments if you need a little boost. Do you think I'm too hard? Do you think because I tend to be like very passionate on the people that I help.
I have similar, I don't take it I really don't take it the wrong way. I really don't. The way I see it is, sometimes people tell us things and we may not necessarily think, oh, wow. In the moment you might get but then you're like, oh crap. Yeah, that's true.
So
I don't get offended much. I used to. I'm a very sensitive person, as some may know, but I've become less sensitive as I get older. I think I tend to let go of a lot of things now.
Uh-huh.
I try not to like dwell on them
Yeah.
because it's like, for what?
Yeah.
It makes you old too. It gives you wrinkles, and I don't want any.
So my sales are
More.
weak, but my community outreach, I think that's Isabelle. Isabelle, I think that's you. I can't see because it says Facebook user, but I think my sales are weak, but my community outreach is great. Yeah. So for those of you that are listening, that it doesn't matter what you're in, whether you're working or not working, or whether you're pursuing something, whatever it might be. Maybe you're going through some family drama. Try not to stay stuck, because it doesn't really, there's really no reason to dwell on things, right? And a lot of times it bleeds into other areas in our life where it's just not a good place to stay. So if you're listening and you get stuck sometimes, or you're feeling bad and you're kind of start getting that feeling bad victim for yourself, get out of it, because that doesn't help. Fun, it's not good for health. Because stress really can be bad for your health. And two, it's not good for our mental health. We talked about this one time before, and we always go to a different path. But we talked about one time when Sylvia was here about, I think, or maybe it was you, we were talking about how important our mental health is.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And how we need to, always be taking care of ourselves. So if you're in a slump, let me know if you need a kick in the butt. I'll get you out of it. And also be sure to share the channel, like our show, and let us know how you're feeling today. And if you're feeling not so good, then we'll get you out of it.
Yeah. What did I do yesterday? Oh, I came in. I was feeling a lot better yesterday. And maybe it's the weather. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of things. Who knows? But I watched this video because I told myself, because I think I know by now how to get myself out of certain situations, because I'm older. I can't just sit there and cry all day long, right? Which is, I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. Sometimes you need to like let it out, right? That's a good thing. Or talk to somebody. And I was sitting at my desk and I was like, okay, got to get my day started. I made a couple of calls, and I pulled up this video, and I was laughing at my desk, and he thought I was going crazy.
She was like, I was like, here, all of a sudden out of nowhere, she was like all in the slumps, and then she starts like doing this laugh for like nonstop 5 minutes. And I'm in my office. I'm like this, like,
she's like, oh crap, she's gone crazy.
She's going crazy. I don't have.
Where's her emergency contact?
And then I see Brooke, because I could see Brooke through this little glass right here, because Brooke sits right here normally, and I see Brooke, and we kind of both. We were like, what is going on here?
I had to explain. I think I explained to her first, and then you came out, and then I was like, let me show it to her. And she agreed. It was pretty funny. She had me send it to her.
So it was funny. It's on Instagram. It's some lady that kind of like mimics some like pretty girls.
She makes fun of it, and it's really hilarious. I love it. It makes.
I wonder if we could pull up a little. Let's see if I could pull up a little thing here.
I don't know her name.
I don't know if I should put that one up, because that's a little.
Yeah. So just to kind of describe the video for it, which I told my husband, I was like, you have to watch it. It's super hilarious. So it's like a girl, right? She's gorgeous. She's super fit. She's young, and she's in her bathing suit, and she's like dancing. And I love to watch people who dance, because I think it's so fascinating. I'm like, it's a skill, right? It's a trade. So this girl's like dancing, all cool, all these crazy moves.
Okay, guys, we're going to pull it up, but we don't want you to get like offended. I don't want y'all to get offended here, but I think it's hilarious. I mean, I think it's funny. So funny. Don't get offended, okay? If you're watching and you get offended with girls in bikinis, don't get
over
offended.
it. It's a summer.
But I'm curious to see. Let me see if I can share. I don't know if it'll let me share it. Let me see.
Let you share it.
No, it won't let me do it, because let me hold on. No, it's too much going on here. Well, anyway, we wanted to show you guys.
And then a lady comes on, and she's, older, and she's not, I guess compared to the girl that came on first, she like, that's her whole thing. She makes fun of people, models, people who are like take themselves so seriously. And she comes on, and she's in a bathing suit. She's doing all the moves, and it's just like hilarious. It's
like a parody of people.
Yes.
But anyway, find something that's going to make you. So did that help you get out of your little funk?
Well, I wasn't. You said I was funk when I came in. I wasn't in a funk when I came in. I was trying to get into it, but I wanted something to kind of just
boost your energy level.
Boost it. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that your energy? So, like, I know with me, if I'm not like, I drink a lot of.
I'm laughing. I'll let you finish because of what I told you yesterday. You looked at me weird.
Okay. So, when I'm in a funk, like I know because normally it's because my energy levels are low. Like I'm not working out, I'm not eating right. And today, like Carmenza made me a really good, like healthy. It's like it's a Gundry diet like smoothie, but it's like romaine lettuce, avocado, parsley, lemon. I don't know what else, but it was actually pretty good. Like, I mean, it's not like a, smoothie king because that's full of sugar, but this one's like no sugar, just really healthy for you. And this morning I actually felt really good. I don't even know why I'm drinking this espresso, to be honest. I think it's just habit because I had the energy. So do you think, what gives you energy to get out of these little...
So obviously working out helps, right? Mm-hmm. But I was listening to something about it this morning, this therapist, and she was kind of talking a little bit about that. And you were laughing yesterday because I said, oh, it was this sweater I was wearing. It has all this negative energy. And she was like,
is it that one right there?
No. It's not to be worn. I have to wash it so I can wash all the negativity out of it. But we kind of talked about that a little bit about things having energy. And so I think it's also, physical, like working out and eating right. But I also think going back to the mental part is what you attract, what you think about. Things have energy. And so like, if you have that kind of energy in the office or you have that kind of energy in your house, you can fake it for so long. And then after a while, it just catches up with you.
Yeah, some people
deal with it.
Some people have different methods of reading bad energy. Like, does this look familiar to you Hispanic women out there? These are eggs, by the way.
Like somebody gave me ojo, maybe that's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
You can rub that egg on me.
Yeah, so for those of you, I don't know. I mean, what are y'all's, like, if you're not Hispanic, what are some things that, like, some old rituals that people would do to get rid of bad energies? For the Mexican people, I think it was that egg, right?
And
like
sage.
They would do. Oh, sage
is supposed to be really
so
good.
I know my best friend when I was a roommate, and we would roommate we were the roommates for the longest time. But I remember walking in and I'm like, oh my God, like, what is it? It kind of smelled like wacky tobacco, but not really. I was like, what is that? Right.
She hotboxed the house.
And I was like, oh. And I was like, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good. Well, she said it was sage. And I was like, what are you doing? It's this big piece of, like, I don't know, sage. It's sage. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, all of us friends were going to meet one day to go to dinner, but she happened to do it before we all went to dinner. So when we all met at the house, it stayed in our clothes. And the whole time we're at the restaurant and we smell like sage. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what did you do? So now every time I smell sage,
it reminds you of that.
It reminds me of that. And I'm like, I don't like the smell of sage. Do you guys use sage? What do you use in your house to bring the feng shui and the energy? And do you even believe in that? Most people don't. But
yeah.
I don't know.
But it's a lot of different. I think going back to that, it's whatever you believe, whatever brings you peace. It doesn't matter what it doesn't have to mean anything to anybody else. And you shouldn't care what anybody else thinks. I think whatever you feel works for you, let it work. It's like sometimes it's a crucifix, it's a rosary on your neck. It's saying a prayer. It's cleansing using sage. I think everybody's different. And I think whatever works for you. It's the belief that you have in your system, and whatever you got to do to get out of it, just do it. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Yeah. Like I have, I try not to, like, hold stuff on too long. Like I worry a lot, but I try not to hold on to it for too long. Like, and I'm more of the person that, like, wants to, like, solve it right now. Whereas some people don't want to solve it right now. They want to solve it later. But I'm like, no, we got to get this problem fixed right now. And so if you are one of those people, what are you? Do you like to hold on to things, grudges? Do you like to hold on to issues? Or do you like to just, like, get it out of your system? Let us know who you are. And we were talking about last week, we wanted to get some feedback from our listeners, that some of the feedback that our older generation has to give to our younger generation. So we wanted to get your advice. If you have advice, so if you are listening right now and you have some advice that you can give to a 20-year-old or a 16-year-old that's listening over here, what advice would you give?
Or
And-
two young chicks in their 30s.
So
Their
I
early
think this is Isabelle. I'm going to assume this is Isabelle. Type Isabelle if this is you. So she says, what works for me to get energy is scented candles and music from Selena. Oh my God, Isabelle. Okay, so ever since I watched the Selena Netflix show, I've been on the Selena kick since like for the last 2 weeks. So I've been listening to like all the Selena albums, and I get so sad because like she's so okay. It is Isabelle, and I love those albums. Yeah, it's so crazy because when I listen, you just get more involved in her music. But yeah, that does put me in a good mood, Isabelle. The Selena songs, I like those. What else? So what advice can you give to somebody that is listening, that is possibly younger, that they could implement now, that could possibly change
that you wish you would have done,
that you wish you would have done when you were younger? Let us know, and we'd like to share your thoughts here on the show.
Yes.
So one thing that we wanted to discuss, so we always want to talk about education, about things too. We like to have fun on the show. We like to talk about different things, but we always want to talk about education. And Isabelle's on here, so she would be a good resource for this. We were talking about because you're learning a little bit more about the final expense and how you can offer this product to your client. But on that note, do you have all of that set up yet? Like if you're listening, do you have the will set up? Do you have your expenses, how you're going to pay those final expenses? It's a tough subject to talk about, but it has to be talked about because we're all not going to be here forever, right?
No.
I mean, we could live till 100 or more, but we're not going to be here forever. So do you have something set up? Do you have something in place? And if you do, which is great, if you do you have that will set up? Do you have I think Isabelle helps with like living wills and stuff like that, but do you have that stuff set up? I'm curious because as much as like we're in the insurance space, right? You would think that all of us insurance agents have our stuff together. I mean, I have my life insurance, I have my health insurance and all that. But one thing I don't have set up is my will. Like what's going to happen if, God forbid, what'll happen? How are people going to know what to do with my stuff?
Yeah. Cause I think sometimes people will think a certain thing. And the only one that's really going to know is your spouse, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe your children.
Yeah.
And people may think you wanted a certain thing, and it's like, no, that's not what they want.
And it becomes an issue. You'd be surprised, like when somebody passes, the smallest thing can become an issue.
Absolutely.
Like from down to the clothes that they wear. Hey, Jessica, how are you doing? To the
makeup, everything.
Everything.
So it's good to have it in writing and let your wishes be known to everybody.
Because that's the last thing that somebody wants to worry about. Like, well, Victoria didn't want to be buried. She wanted to become a tree and like have a fruitful tree. Yes. I don't know. Or Victoria didn't want a casket. She wanted to be cremated.
Yeah.
Or Victoria didn't want, to have it here. She wanted to here. I don't want my family dealing with that. And so it's up to me to get that set up. Isabelle had said everyone needs a medical power of attorney. Oh yeah, that's so even so we always think after death, but we never think prior to.
Yes.
Like what are we dealing with if we are in a situation where we're not, like maybe in a coma, or maybe we can't make decisions for ourselves? What do we do then? I mean, I hate, like, this is such a morbid topic. I hate to talk about it, but it's like it's a very necessary topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she says, you need to have a medical power of attorney in your purse, a copy in your card, and original at a known place. Okay, gotcha.
That's a good thing to start thinking about.
Yeah.
Because you think
in your car. Okay, copy in your car. So
you think you're going to live forever and you're not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's one thing for certain, right? We all know. We don't know if we're going to win the lottery. We don't know if we're going to have kids. We know we're going to get married.
And that'd be some bull crap if I win the lottery and the next day I went.
I've heard that before. They're like, one thing you know for sure is that you're going to die.
Yeah.
That's inevitable. Yeah. So why not, if you have the ability to do so, plan in advance and let your wishes be known.
Yeah, because it's hard to leave. I always make sure, okay, I have enough to give Carmenza to like pay everything off and then have enough money for her to like take off if she wants to. And then also for my mom, like, you know, we have some left because I know my mom will be really sad if I'm gone. So I'm like, she might not be able to work for a year or two. So we got to pay that off, you know, give her some too. And so I think like that, but I need to write it down. You know, I have to give all my stuff down. And there's certain memorabilia that maybe my sisters want of me, or maybe my brothers want or something like that.
I've already, funny enough, you say that because I've already done that and I'm only like in my 30s. I have a butterfly ring that I bought. My husband bought me 2 years ago. And I gifted it already to my niece. I'm like, look, Emma, this is going to be yours when I die.
And she's all
like, that was really expensive, little girl. And I've told my oldest, I'm like, look, this goes to this person and this goes to that person.
Yeah.
But we don't know what might happen. And if you don't have all that in writing, it could, you know, it can get a little messy.
We want you to ask yourself right now, if you're listening, I think this is Claudia. I think that belongs to Emma.
That's right. That's Emma's. That ring is Emma's. I already know. I thought it out in my head. When she gets older, she'd be like, that's mine. My TT said that was mine.
Well, dang, now you're making me feel bad. What am I going to give my 13 nieces and nephews?
Oh, Victoria.
There's too many of you guys. Jeez. All they're going to remember was me. Was like, man, Aunt Victoria always got mad at us when we did stuff or when we talked back to our parents. But that's good. So, okay. And then Isabel says, I have packages that I give to clients. I can bring them over to share next week. Oh, that's nice. And I do group settings. That's yes. And Isabel, you know, I know we said this, but we need to have you on the show because I know you have a lot of experience on this kind of stuff, which is very necessary. And it doesn't matter how old or young you are.
No,
it's never too late. It's never too young to get that stuff set up. And, you know, maybe I need to get my family together and we all need to sit down and like, cause it becomes really emotional when you start talking about it. And I'm sure like if my mom's listening, she's probably already getting teary eyed because we're just talking about this stuff, but it has to be done.
Absolutely.
Because when that happens, it's not if, it's when that happens. Later when I'm 95, because I say I'm going to live till 95. It depends, maybe 100, but I say 95. And when that happens, I don't want people like being a burden on people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to have to deal with the little things that, like you would think that, okay, it's not just about the money, because obviously the money is a big issue. And if you don't have something in place, get something, but the little decisions in the process. And I think, like Isabel said, the living will, that medical power of attorney that we have, and we're probably I'm going to talk to you next week, maybe get you on next week or when you have time that we can bring you on and talk a little bit more about this. Cause I know you have quite a bit of experience in it. So we'll bring you on the show probably next week or the week after that, because I'll actually be gone. Oh, and while you guys are on, if you're listening in, please like the show, share it. Every time you guys comment, every time you guys like it, it shows to more people because and it helps us get the word out. Right?
Yes.
So I always say we talk about this much insurance and then we talk about this much life stuff. So last week we were talking about beauty secrets. Jessica, she says, I'm constantly talking about my death. Well, don't constantly talk about it. When it happens, kids hate to hear it, but I want them to know for me. And yes, it always has to be on paper. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's good. Well, we don't always want to be thinking about it.
You know what I always think about too?
Uh-huh.
Is, you know how you watch those movies and they're like, okay, everybody, they're living well. And it's like a person on video. And they're like, oh, to my such and such, I leave this.
Oh, that's yeah.
So maybe we should do that next time.
Yeah.
We can have our media.
We got our video here. We got our, that's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah, I like that.
So it's like, you can't, if it's in writing, it can get lost. Somebody can, manipulate it or whatever, right? Because we know there's people evil out there in the world like that. And with the video and you're saying it, you're saying like, this is it. And you've emailed it to every single person and it's in your email.
Just don't leave like, see, that's the laugh I'm talking about. She was doing that for 5 minutes the other day.
The video was hilarious.
She was doing that for 5 minutes yesterday. I'm like,
you have to share it on our on the Instagram page so they can see it.
Well, it's a Medicare Space Instagram, so I don't know if it'd be appropriate, but
Well,
you
they
know, because
can-
it was a bikini, but it was a thong bikini. So it's like not us guys. We're not in
No,
thong bikinis.
no,
It's
no.
some girl, it's a model.
Yes.
And somebody was doing a parody of it, and we thought it was really, really funny.
Yes, it was hilarious.
So again, if you're listening in, if you just joined in last week, we had mentioned I definitely want a video from you sister. Claudia.
I have I'm a big fan of The Office. So this is
me
true.
too.
And now this is going to be known to everybody. So if you go to my funeral, you'll know. So I'm a big fan of The Office, and he says this thing, and he's like, "That's what she said, right?" He always says that. That's his thing. So I told my husband, because I'm such a comedian, and I've made this known. I'm like, look, I don't want everybody crying at my funeral. I want everybody to be happy, drinking. I want to be buried in a sequence dress. I want a big,
Dang.
just the whole shebang bang, right? So I said, so if somebody says something along the lines where you can say that line, I'm like, I need you to say it out loud in the middle of the service and yell, "That's what she said." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "You have to promise me you're going to do that, because the people who really love me and knew me would know, and they would laugh.
Hey,
and
she's
they would
going to come
remember."
back. You were supposed to say that's what she said.
So I've made him promise me that. So yeah. So I'm like, because if the people who really know me and love me are at my funeral,
Yeah.
I hope so. And they're gonna laugh their butt off. And so yet, another moment to make people laugh.
She's going to come down from heaven and be like, "What the hell is there? Nobody here. What the hell's going on?"
So that's my big thing. I always try to lighten the mood with.
Hey, I just want to tell you guys, because she's pretty funny, that Brooke's even laughing, and she's only 16. So, you got it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I think you're pretty funny.
I try.
What do y'all think? Do y'all think Adriana's pretty funny? What do you think?
So I think that's what my sister's saying, is she wants my last living testament. So I'd be hilarious. I make them laugh while they're crying.
Yeah.
Although I think she's saying I'm going to die before her.
So if you guys just joined in, we're talking about, we got off of saying, be setting up your final expenses, setting up for your funeral expenses, setting up, making sure you're leaving your family with something behind, so that way they're not stressed, especially for, I'll mention this for the younger dads out there, or the younger moms that are the breadwinners. Either, it doesn't matter, both. Make sure you have something set up, because everybody thinks it's so expensive, and it's not. I mean, yeah, you like, if you can go get 3 beers on the weekend, you can afford life insurance. Okay. But get it set up, get something set up, because I've seen so many situations, and it sucks, because in our field, we see this a lot, especially that we work in the senior community. We see it even more often, but we'll see situations where people, pass, and nothing was left behind for the kids, or nothing was left behind for the spouse that stayed home all the time, didn't have a retirement, or whatever the case was. So set something up. I know this is a sucky subject, because we don't want to think about that stuff, but it's necessary. You have to get it set up, and it doesn't matter how young you are. The younger you get it, the cheaper it is. And get it, because you just don't want to leave that burden on it. At the very least, like, I remember I was at Vegas, and it was me and my sister, and we were on that roller coaster on, I think it's New York. And as we were going up, I look at her, I'm like, shit. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I was like, shoot. Did I? Okay, I paid my life insurance. My life insurance is paid. That's the first thing that came to my mind is my life insurance paid up? Just in case I die, my family has. So if you're like me, you probably have life insurance set up. If you're not like me, then get it set up, so that way your parents, your wife, your husband, your kids are not left behind with this issue. Because it is a very, very real issue. Yes, GoFundMe's work. Yes, barbecue plate sales work. Yes, donations from family work. But why do you don't want to have to do all that work when that time comes? Because it is, you want to take time to mourn and things like that. So we don't want to have to worry about that stuff. So yes, we're getting normally we're really funny, but right now we're getting serious, because it is a very serious topic. So again, if you're listening to this and you know somebody that hasn't got that set up, I don't care if they work with us or whatever, just get it set up, right? We can help you with it, but if you have somebody you're working with, great. Just the long story short is to get it set up, and also have that living will set up, or have that will set up. And we'll have to probably bring somebody on. I know Let's see. It says, start doing a bucket list. Tell us what you want to do before you kick the bucket.
Oh,
I like
that's
that.
a good one.
Oh, I like it. So Isabelle, okay, start us off, Isabelle. What's one thing that you want to do before we kick the bucket?
One of mine that I've already checked off was go to New York.
And in New Year's Eve and winter and
no,
summer?
I just went. I just went for my 30th.
Oh, okay.
I went for my 30th. Another one.
Is that where that bag came from? She was on the street.
No, I had it way before then. But I did go to Tiffany's. So yes, no, I think that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I've always wanted to go whale watching. Like I want to be able to like go touch the whales and like, you know, like I hope like if I'm whale watching and the whale comes, I can
Do
just
you want to just touch the whale?
Just touch the whale.
Do you want to ride the whale?
On the blowhole. I'm like, woo!
Like there's people that ride dolphins.
Oh, I like it, Lorenzo. I want to fish on the Amazon River.
Oh my god.
That's kind of scary though. Like
seriously?
you might pull out an
We'll
anaconda.
have to make sure your life insurance policy.
Isn't that movie? Wasn't that Anaconda movie with J-Lo? Remember? Wasn't that on the Amazon?
Oh no, that's scary.
So what? Tell us what you guys want to do. Oh, I like it. I think this is Claudia. Take my family to Europe.
Oh my god!
Now, does that include your extended family or just your immediate family?
I hope it includes me. You can take me. You don't have to take your nieces.
See, I want to go visit Canada where my mom. I want to go visit Canada where my mom visited before she passed. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's sweet. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Maybe she says maybe I'll take.
I also want to go. I was going to say take my kids to Paris, but I want to go to Spain. My great grandmother is from Spain.
Yeah, so we went to Paris, Carmenza and I, when we first met.
Ooh.
It was like, I think
how was that?
It was really pretty.
Is it as romantic as people say?
So I told her, yeah. I mean, it was nice. But I told her what I want to do next time is I want to go because we did all the touristy stuff.
Okay.
So next time we go, I want to go live like we're locals. Because when we were on the Seine River, I believe, I saw that there was all these people just hanging out, drinking wine, playing music, and it was like a section that I never seen. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I want to do that and like get our baguette and get our cheese and bottle of wine and then just go listen to some music. And that's what I like versus like taking the tour bus, looking at museums and stuff
like the experience of the people who live there.
Yes, exactly. I like that. So if you just came on, we were talking about our final expenses and stuff like that, but it got to where Isabelle said, what do you want to do before you kick the bucket? What's on your bucket list? And we were telling y'all what we wanted to do. So what else do you want to do? You want to go, so you want to go to Paris, you got to go to New York. Is there anything that you want to do that doesn't involve traveling?
Okay, when I was younger, I wanted to go skydiving, but I'm afraid of
so then you might you might kill two birds with one stone, kick the bucket while you're kicking the bucket.
So now I'm like, oh
no.
It just terrifies me. I used to not be afraid of heights, but one time I was on a roller coaster at Fiesta Texas and I did this to myself because I'm just weird this way. But I was like, I hate the scream, but I had to. It was like one of those things where I had to get on it every time I went. So the last time I went, they took us from our job and I was on there and my butt was floating because your butt floats off the seat. And the girl next to me who suffered from anxiety and was on her medications, obviously I should have been on something too. And so she was like, she looked at me and she was like, she saw the look of panic in my face and she's like, you're okay. She's like, just hold on to the bottom of the seat. So I learned a trick. So if you hold on to the bottom of the seat, your butt isn't floating. But I literally was like, had a full on panic attack. It was horrible.
That happened to me when Sylvia, my dear friend, the co-host of this channel. She'll be back next week.
Yes.
But Adriana is doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
But Sylvia, we went to Vegas and you know, the Rio, for those of you that like to go to Vegas, that Rio, that tall little building. Well, they have this zip line, right? I'm like, oh, this will be fine. It's a chair. You just sit on it and then you just wait, right? Well, guys, I don't know if y'all know, but I was blessed with a nice caboose. Okay. Well, when I was sitting on the chair is like this, like the width of it, not the width, but like the actual, like the way where you sit. the actual chair. So half my butt was off the chair.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
So going down, of course, gravity pulls, right? You're like, oh, okay, this is not bad. But when it was pulling back up, it was pushing. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I was like, I'm going to die. This sucks. And I was like, and Sylvia's like, why do we do this? Why do we do that? I was like, oh my God, you make me do this stuff all the time because she's an adrenaline
I love her.
Yeah, she's an Oh, good one. Claudia said, get my law degree. I like that.
Yes.
All right.
She's going to be my lawyer.
Because of that laugh right there. That's like a suspicious laugh.
I'm like, yeah, you're going to be my lawyer. You just don't know it yet.
Well, I know not to get on your bad side.
No, she's going to be both of ours. She just doesn't know what I'm going to pay her to be both of ours.
It says, so, okay. And then, so Isabel said something simple, taking a buggy ride downtown during Christmas. Oh, that's a good one. All of us, maybe the Medicare Space can set it up. Oh, I like it.
Ooh,
yeah, I like that.
You know what I was thinking as you were saying about the zip lining? They have Natural Bridge Caverns. They have like this team building thing. I was thinking we could do something like that. They have a zip line and like it's like
that's
a
cool.
whole trust thing. That would be a fun activity.
Yeah. Well, she already wanted to leave early for happy hour. She's like, the whole day, she's like, what if we just leave early for happy hour and then we just go our separate ways? I'm like, well, that's
she brought, to my defense, she brought it up. She's like, we haven't had it. And I'm like, really? We haven't? But in the back.
So I had implemented first Friday happy hours for the Medicare Space team.
But we've been busy.
And we have been busy.
Last month was a busy month.
Yeah, it was a busy month.
A good month. So
yeah. So, and next week I'm going to be gone. So for everybody that's listening, I am going to be at a work conference. And Miss Adriana and Sylvia are going to host a show by themselves, which should be interesting because I told. So if you guys can't hear or you can't see real good,
or the camera's like lopsided,
or the camera's lopsided, it's because Adriana set it up.
Or there's a bunch of champagne bottles, mimosas,
that's okay. Y'all can
on the desk.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, we have champagne in the fridge, and it
goes more than an hour.
Spoiled orange juice in the fridge as well.
The people speak; they want the show more than an hour.
If you're listening in, when I'm gone, do you want to see Adriana and Sylvia having mimosas for you guys? Y'all could cheers her while y'all watching the show. I don't know what they're going to talk about. They could talk about whatever they want. But
I'm obviously going to let Sylvia be in charge. She's been doing this a lot longer.
Well, you're going to have to take the seat on that one because Sylvia's like, what do we talk about? She's going to ask you, what do we talk about?
I love her.
Yeah, we love Sylvia. I hope you're having fun, Sylvia.
Yes, have lots of fun.
If you're listening, I hope you're having. So for those of you, again, that just came on, we were talking about bucket list because we were talking about the morbid side of getting your final expenses set up, getting your life insurance set up, getting all that set up. But we were also to the other side of that, life is short. So what do you want to do? Tell us in the comments what you want to do. Do you want to travel somewhere that you've never been? Do you want to learn a specific language? Do you want to make amends with a family member that you haven't talked to? Do you want to learn about your roots a little bit more? Tell us what you want to do. And also, if you're a senior or even if you're like a little older, I don't know what that would mean because I'm already hitting 40, so I still think I'm young. But if you have advice, if you have some good advice, so
pearls of wisdom.
Oh, how about me? How about some marriage advice? How about what's a tip that you would give to somebody that's going to be getting married? What's a good married tip?
What was the one that I told you? Because my husband's watching.
Don't get fat, but we're
that's not true. I said, you got to learn to let some stuff go.
Oh, I just heard don't get fat, but I'm like, well, I already got fat. So it can only get better from here.
I said to you, if it's one thing that I've learned that I don't know. I've been married for more than 10 years.
Okay.
We've lost track and he knows that. So I said, you got to let the little stuff go. I'm a germphobe / clean freak. I get it from my mom. I'm very thankful for that. It keeps me organized. So when I first met my husband, he's not the cleanest person. I love you.
Be careful. There's hundreds of people watching right now.
I love you, but we're polar opposites in that thing. And I told my daughter the other day, I said, you know what? I didn't notice it at first because at first I was just so happy to have my own place. I was cleaning.
You were in love.
I was in love and I was cleaning every day. And so, you start to notice the little stuff. Well, anyways, I've learned to let the stuff go. Like if he leaves his clothes on the floor, I'm just like,
see, are you listening, babe?
I'm like, I don't even.
Because I always have a habit of like leaving my shoes downstairs. And I know when she wants me to take them upstairs because she'll set them on the stairs, like all nice and neat. Like, don't forget when you walk upstairs, take your shoes back upstairs. Or like little things like I'm not messy, but like I just randomly, sometimes I don't want to wash a dish right now. Like I'll put it in the sink and I'll wash it later, or I'll leave my shoes downstairs.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know. I'm just,
I'm guilty of doing that. The last time we have a scale and he kept leaving it out, which I owed him an apology because I ended up finding out it was my kids who were going to my restroom and using my scale. So I did something and I put the scale in front of his closet. Thinking he's going to put it back, right?
Maybe he thought you were telling him he needs to lose weight.
I think he did. I don't know. He let us know, babe. And you know what? The next day, it was still there. I was like, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, if Carmenza did that to me, I'm like, God, dog, okay, I'll just starve myself. Look, good one. Claudia says, happy wife, happy life. Yes, I do agree with that.
Yes, that's true.
And don't ever stop dating. That's a good one.
That's another one too. My husband and I we instituted date night.
That's good.
So we have a date night once a month. Sometimes it goes twice a month, depending on how the kids, our teenagers feeling. She's feeling
Be careful.
If she's feeling gracious, we do pay her. We give her,
Hey, wink, wink.
We give her, I'd throw her $20 here.
So for those married couples on here, or somebody that has not necessarily been married, but maybe you've been in relationships before, give us some advice here. What do you think? Or maybe for new couples that are listening, or maybe for people that it's not going so well right now for them. Give us some advice. Let us know what you think. I have to agree with you. Like you have to pick your battles,
Absolutely.
Because keep in mind, when you meet your partner, you're probably the same in a lot of ways, but you're like opposites.
Polar opposites.
Yeah. So, which is you like a lot of the same things and you're like me, I'm very like fast, like, okay, make decisions. And Carmen's is a little bit more like, let me think about it. Right. Like, let me look at all the facts. Let me look at all the details and I'm just like, I like it. Boom. Let's go.
That sounds a lot like my husband and I. I think that's every relationship though, right? You have the person who's like, okay, let's just do it. Why are you like researching every single store in town? This is the cheapest because I love to save. Was shopping this morning. Sorry. But yeah, I think that's a lot of the relationships. You have a person who's just like a doer and does it and doesn't care how much it's going to cost. They just want it. They're going to do it. Somebody who likes to do research and save.
That is me. I'm just like a doer. I'm just like, give it. I don't care. Just let's do it.
Yeah.
And I'm all about convenience. I don't like to save on pennies. Like, so Carmenza has an app for gas and, there can be a gas station like right there. And I'm like, I'm on E, right? Let's just get to the gas station. She's like, hold on, babe. Hold on. There's a Valero over there 3 miles away. And I'm like, really, where is this thing at? So now I'm just like, okay, sure. Let's go. Cause she gets all her like eyes light up. Like she just won the little, like, when you go to the slot machines, she loves that stuff.
It's awesome.
And the type of person I am. And for those of you that know me, y'all know this is true. I could have a coupon in my wallet that's $5 off. And I'm literally at the checkout to the store and I will not, and I don't use the coupon.
Because you forget.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm just like, I already paid. Like I'm just, whatever.
I like expensive things, but I like things on sale too. I'm like, what can I get this on sale?
Let us know. Are you the frugal one in your relationship? Are you not the frugal one? Let us know in the comments. Let us know. Are you the frugal one? Or are you not the frugal one?
And people will say, oh, look, and I'm like, look, I'm one of those people that I'm like, okay, you know how much these shoes were? They were $150, but guess how much I paid for them? And they're like, how much? I'm like, I paid $40 for them. I just get excited over that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's good. So if you're frugal, type in frugal. Okay. If you're frugal, type in frugal. Then we'll know. Then we'll start a little club for you couponers and like a little like
Yes.
discount. Like, yeah, I don't just have the time. I don't have the time to be searching for the savings, you know?
See, I'll do it while I'm doing something else. Like if I'm working out, I'm like on before I go to the store, I'm on HEB app. I'm like, ooh, coupon, ooh, coupon.
Yeah.
coupon.
But then see, my deal with coupons, see, Claudia says, I am definitely the frugal one. Rick don't care what it costs. Yeah, I'm more of a Rick. We were talking about coupon. Oh, but the thing I don't like about coupons is that you get coupons. It's like $3 off this soap or whatever, laundry detergent. And it's laundry detergent you never buy. And it actually becomes more expensive because you're buying something you don't need. So it's like, oh, I got a coupon. Let me go buy this because I get the savings. But then it's like, but you're buying stuff you don't need. I don't know. Lorenzo says he's frugal.
That's funny because he is full of, I think he said that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
That is a lie. So today we started off with recapping the last week's show. We were talking about gym etiquette. We were talking about beauty secrets that seniors can give us. And then we got into today, we were talking about, he says, no, I'm just kidding.
I told you.
Then we got into talking about today. We were like, okay, we got to address the final expenses, the funeral expenses, and setting up wills and things like that. And then we got to, okay, now that we know we're all going to die, we got to, and I hate to sound so brutally honest, but that it is true, right?
The fact of life.
So then we talked about let's live life, right? And so what are our bucket lists? What are the things that we wanted to do? And then somehow we got to saving money and coupons.
Yes.
So you can see how the show goes. We talk about just about everything. If you feel like you like this show, share it. Let us know. Okay. So Isabelle says, I think this is marital advice. She says, communicate.
Yes.
If your loved one hurts your feelings, tell them immediately. You have hurt me. Help me understand why you're feeling this way. I've been married for 33 years. Wow.
Woo.
Yeah. Woo. Let's give that a hand.
That's awesome.
Maria Ines, I'm definitely not the frugal one. After 30 years, still get upset when I hear, what if I die tomorrow? She's definitely not the frugal one. Yeah. After 30 years, still get upset when I hear, what if I die tomorrow? Yeah. So I'm always like live life to the fullest, but you know,
every now and then I'll buy something full price. You know, Louis Vuittons those do not go on sale.
I'm not a big fan of the Louis, I'll be honest.
It was, you know, I bought my first one when I was really young. I gave it to my daughter when she turned 16. It meant a lot because I saved up for it.
That's good.
And then I bought another one, but ask me if the last time I used it. I haven't even used it.
Yeah.
But I have a purse problem. I love purses. I think I've loved purses since I was a little girl.
And what do you carry in those purses?
My whole life. If she asked me for something, I'm like, oh, let me take it out of my purse. I got it right here.
Hey, last time I was like, I don't know. What's the size? She pulls out a measurement. She's all, it's like, whoa, calm down. You never know when you're going to need to measure something.
That's true. Or, you know, I have a lot of stuff in there.
Well, I will never, I don't. Okay. So like when Carmen's like, babe, can you reach in my purse and get like this or that, or my charger? I get all like, because I don't carry a purse, guys. I carry this little wallet. That's all I carry. I don't carry anything else. It's in my backpack.
You have a backpack that you don't even use.
And I have a backpack that I use it when I go out of town.
Very nice backpack.
Yeah, I have my backpack. But yeah, I don't like to carry a lot. Now, when I do go out of town, I'll carry like a little crossbody, a little one to carry like my wallet, my phone, and sometimes I like to smoke the occasional cigar. So I put the cigar. Depends, you know. I carry random stuff that I need, but I don't see how you guys have these big purses.
So right now I'm condensing. It's very small to the smallest thing that I can get. But I would agree with you about getting nervous because I want to say, I think it's my dad. If my mom is ever like, I need to, honey, go get something. And he's like, oh no, he'll go take it. He will not go on her back.
It's almost like if there's like a little thing that's going to bite your hand or something like, and I feel like I just won the lottery when like she'll ask me to get something and I reach in and I pull it out in the first try. I'm like, oh my God, I got it. This is awesome.
I've learned better than to ask my kids or my husband to get something out of my bag because they just make a mess. And I think they do it on purpose. So I don't ask them again.
Little squirrels trying to find the little, yeah.
I'm like, no, let's not do that.
Always remember always remember what you liked about your partner when you first met them. Your good times to help you pull through the rough times. I totally agree.
Advice. Or I wish I would have done this. You should do it as well. You and Carmenza should do it. I've heard this thing where people write each other letters. So before they get married at their wedding day, they write each other a letter.
I like that.
Of how they feel about each other, right? All the good things, right? Because this is a joyous day. You're getting married. So you wouldn't talk any crap on this letter. Let's hope not. And then when you're going through the rough days, the rough times, you read that letter to remind you of how you felt the day you got married.
Look at you all full of little golden nuggets here for marriage. Did Lorenzo?
I watch a lot of movies.
Did she write you a letter? Maybe y'all should sit down and write letters to each other.
I did it for a little bit. We had a notebook because we don't see each other very often. We work complete opposite schedules. A lot of people don't know that. And we had a notebook similar to that one. And we would write notes. And then
I like that. Okay, if you're listening right now and you have a significant other, what I want you to do today or this week or over the weekend, without telling your spouse, your partner, well, since you're probably guys are listening, you're gonna know, and so that puts your feet to the fire, Lorenzo. So you're gonna have to do that too. So what I want you to do is I want you to handwrite a love note or handwrite a letter telling how much you appreciate your significant other. And if you're going through a hard time with your significant other, then just be positive in that letter and let them know how much you love them and how much they mean to you. And let's see you next week on what happened. I mean, I'm curious to see what their thoughts were and how your significant other, your spouse felt about it. So I'm going to do it. Hopefully Carmenza's not watching right now.
Yeah.
But who's going to do it with me? Raise your hand. Put a little thumbs up in the
Nobody
comment.
handwrites letters anymore.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And it can't be an email or a text message, guys.
Don't do that.
It has to be a handwritten note. So that way, when you guys see each other next time, it's going to be like rainbows and butterflies.
And think about it. It goes back to our topic of leaving pearls of wisdom to our loved ones.
Yeah.
Because what if your grandchild finds that letter and they're like, oh, my grandma and my grandpa didn't hate each other.
That's a good one.
Other. And you know, and they can, and it's a letter that'll last forever.
I like that. Just don't spill coffee on it, because I'm guarantee you if you leave it next to me, I'll spill coffee on it.
Yes, me too. All my scripts have coffee on them.
Because it's me. I'm spilling it.
It's my coffee.
So if you are listening, guys, do us a favor, okay? Every Friday at 10 a.m. Next week, I won't be here, but the girls will. So you definitely want to get on that show, because that's going to be an interesting one.
Oh, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a fun one. And there's two things. We're going to send them with homework, because we're going to be getting off here in a few minutes, but we're going to send you guys with homework. So if you were just came in listening, we're talking about a whole bunch of stuff. But your homework today, based on all the feedback that we got from the audience today, is one, if you have a loved one or you have a spouse, or maybe you have a love interest that you never know, write a letter to them, a love letter on paper, and it cannot be a text or an email, and give that to them. I want you to give it to them next week. And when you come back on Friday, let us know how that went. The second thing we want you to do is we really want you to write down 5 things that you want to do before you pass.
Bucket list,
5 things. And I want you to do one of those things before the end of the year. It doesn't have to be big, like going to Paris or things that we want to do, or riding wells. I don't think you can ride a well. I'd probably I don't know.
Or can you? You never know.
You never know. There might be a well saddle. I might just create a well saddle.
Exactly.
That'd be really weird. Yeah. So it could be small. It doesn't have to be like anything big. It can be like, hey, I really want to start learning a different language. And the things that I did is I'm implementing that Duolingo or whatever. Whatever you want to do. It could be something small. Big bucket list doesn't have to be big. It could be small stuff.
It's something that you've always wanted to do.
Yeah. And then, so that's 2 things. I think that's good homework, right?
Yes.
And the third thing is you're going to join us next week at 10 a.m. and I'm sad I'm going to miss it, but you're going to share that with Adriana and Sylvia on the things that if you did those things, you just put yes. We don't need to know details. Yes. And then you could personal message us how it went, We'd love to hear the story, right?
Yes.
So if you're going to do that, let us know. We are going to be getting off here soon. So be sure to share the show. It really does help us out. Be sure to go subscribe to our channel on YouTube. It really helps us out. We're really trying to get Brooke that 200. What did I say? $200?
Oh, yeah.
If we hit 200 subscribers on our YouTube channel, I'm going to give her $200 at the end of the month. I might extend it a week just because I'm not going to be here next week. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But if you're listening, go help Brooke out, because if we get 200 subscribers on our YouTube channel, I'm going to pay her a bonus.
Yeah, she's a broke 16-year-old.
She's 16. She's saving up to get out of the house. I'm just joking.
Weren't we all at that age? I'm just kidding, Mom. I'm just kidding.
But all right, guys, is there any last thoughts that you want to leave our audience before we get off today?
No, just and even the letter, it doesn't have to be to a spouse. If you're single, you can write it to your mom. You can write it to your dad, a relative that you love and admire very much. Like she said, handwritten letters they're not often.
Are you trying to say something to your family that you want them to write you a love letter?
Yeah, sure. If anybody wants to tell me how awesome I am.
And it doesn't have to be very long. It could be one sentence if you want to make it.
I mean, come on. Don't do that. It's gonna look like this. A writes it really big.
Yeah. Like Lorenzo can't be writing 2 words. Okay?
Oh, that's sweet. No, one time for Mother's Day, I wrote a letter to my mother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
And she told me recently that she reads it every day on Mother's Day. And the letter was, and I don't know if I told my husband about it, but it was thanking her for bringing the love of my life into this world.
Oh, that's so cute.
And how awesome and how great of a job she did. And how thankful I was for him. So, yeah.
Well, somebody's going to get some flowers before they get home.
A little happy hour.
And with our final thought of the day with Isabelle, I write love letters all the time to my children and grandchildren.
Aww.
For my spouse, I'll think about it. Actually, I found all the cards I have given him all these 33 years when I found them in the desk. Wow, he really loves me.
Aww.
That's cute.
That's sweet.
All right, guys. Well, we had fun today. This was extra special for us. Next week, again, I'm not going to be here. The girls will be here. Sylvia and Adriana, be sure you come support them on their show by themselves while I'm gone. And hopefully all the audio and all the video looks great.
Yes, we're hoping that it does. Please pray for us.
And come share. Can let us know if you written that love letter, if you wrote down your bucket list. And we will see you guys next Friday at 10 a.m. And if you ever need anything, help with Medicare, help with your final expenses, let us know. We could definitely help you with that. And be sure to go like our YouTube channel, our Instagram and Facebook. And it really does help us out. All right. We will see you guys later. We love you and have a great, safe weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.